I'm Sam Hussain. People call me Sam for short. I'm currently an all-skill specialist. Presently, I'm riding Reach GT by Pacific Cycle. Earlier this year, we have been actively cycling, and for me and my brother, we started this small little cycling group ever since June 2020. And the group of two has since grown significantly in terms of numbers. We have a close circle now consisting of my brother, my teacher, my good friends, even my uncle, and some of my United Nations friends. So we hope that this cycling will bring us towards our retirement years, and that we can continue to have such a close bond with cycling.
We're chasing with John Donna on the street. Now we're chasing Kamaru.
What started out for me on Brompton foldable bicycle, I've moved on to Pacific Cycle, Birdy City, and then eventually I decided to move up to a 20-inch. My close friends, it started with one and then the other and then the other, and it grew to a significant number that most of my kakis also decided to buy a Birdy. I was very close to get a Birdy roll-off, although the Ministry of Finance at home didn't sanction that. But eventually I settled for a Birdy City. Since we are moving into serious cycling, me and my brother, we moved on to the Reach GT. And this is one of the best bicycles that I have personally enjoyed. We really fancy the eastern sector of Singapore because it's the most well connected with the Park Connector network. Importantly, is cycling safe. We want to come back to our family safe, and we want to see our kids. The reason that we do this first, so that we know the routes, we know it by memory, then we can bring our family together. And I look forward to be cycling with my wife, with my son, my daughter, as well as my niece and nephew. It is always said that time is the most important factor in a man's life. But when you don't make time, how can you have time, right? So in all fairness, we have to juggle our multiple hats, whether you're working, your work responsibility, your home commitment, family. I have an understanding wife whom knows that we've been working from home for many months, so we need that session to be going out just to have a little bit of a de-stress session and just to let it go. So we have formulated, that my girl, when she is asleep, so that she's no longer clinging on to either one of us, and that's the time that I would go out to cycle with my brother and my friends. And then sometimes on other days, I'll try to spend time with my son and my daughter, or even my nephew who stays just across, in terms of training them how to cycle as well. Ever since I moved to the Reach GT, there are of course succession plans to have bicycle within the family. So I've discussed with my wife to have ride on my Birdy City. Although I've already got my son his own Light Pro bicycle, of course with much consultation from some of my learned friends in cycling. In time to come, my own mother has already purchased a bicycle for my 3-year-old daughter. So my niece is taking care of that. It has to be pink and purple though. In getting my son to cycle, it is very nice to say that he managed to do it within his first hour in a single session of cycling lesson, and I look forward to be doing the same for my daughter, so that eventually our family of 4 will be able to cycle all the way down to the West Conference, where my family is. That's where my nephew, my nieces, they are all cycling in Jurong Lake Park and all that. And we have plans to cycle, visit places of interest in Singapore, as long as it is safe and it's well connected by the PCN network. In terms of juggling time, it's never easy, right? But I suppose you really need to, be fair in terms of your involvement with your family, with your spouse, your children, and that's where you really have to plan out your week. I will try not to go beyond, 3 to 4 hours, because we have grown relatively stronger in terms of cycling progress since June. So we are able to go and cycle a good distance in about an hour or so, unless we really intend to go far. So you have to plan your route, the traffic, you have to check out the weather forecast so that it doesn't spoil your plans. And above all, never cycle alone lah. Try to always be with at least a cycling buddy, or maybe in a group of 5. So at least you have one another, in terms of support and help.